Good morning, it's Brian Frederick with dabodab update on what we've added to the website over the weekend. It's Monday, July 1st. First up, we have an interview with Michael Gonzalez. It's an interview that took place on the Musical Transportation Spree, KFI, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
To Venus infers and how
The recording is on archive, the Internet Archive, and features selections from many Plastic Eye Miracle cassettes and the projects Euphoric Voyeurs, Ed Wood's Living Room, One Big Neck Robot Beatnik, Hits a Poppin', Tunnel of Spirits. We've also got Greg Mathiasen, Bernard Olson, Julia Devine present and assisting. I've always kind of thought an interesting book would be the home tapers, cassette culture coming out of the Minneapolis area. So take a listen. This picture was sent to me by Michael, whose output was on a label, Ooh Ooh Music. He sent us many tapes, and we'll be adding those as we get to them. So take a look at that. Came across a new article on Tape Op, kind of a response to Bob Leftitz and Larry Crane's talking about the reality of how records are made. It's an interesting read. Then we have a review of another Sarah Morton Taggart zine. I picked up 4 of these at the recent Grid Zine Fest here in Salt Lake. It's an annual Zine Fest. It's well attended. Met Sarah. She had 4 of these zines on her table that kind of talk about her family history. This one's interesting. It's about Zenna Henderson, who was an early science fiction author, one of the earliest to actually use her own name rather than a male name. So you get pictures. Her science fiction was published in the pulp magazines at the time, novels, and one of her books was actually turned into a film by Francis Ford Coppola. So an interesting read. It's worth making the effort to get a hold of these. Been playing around with an online video generator called Hedra. I took this picture as a request by Mick Magic for a compilation we did called Mikasa Sukasa. I had done a couple videos recently through Hedra, just testing it out, seeing what it's capable of. I thought it'd be interesting to take something that looked like an illustration or a sketch or something, so I turned this photo into like a photocopy.
I've always had a penchant for the peculiar, a curiosity that's led me down some rather whimsical rabbit holes. Take, for instance, this fascination with Adam's quest to unbeat an egg, or his decision to simply stay in bed amid such absurdity.
I typed that in, and that's not my voice, that's generated. Since I just released the Adam Unbeaten Egg Tape Germ album, which is here. Speaking of which, that was released over the weekend, and it's available for free. I have a few links here. You can just go there and get it. If you want the album to show up in your catalog, there's a free download code to enable you to do that, or you can get it right here on dabodab. Artists on the album are Thomas Park, Jim McKenna, Misha Mathis, Anixis, myself, David in America, Adam Unbeaten Egg, Amaram, Ninja HZA, and Stratton Possum. We may get one or two additional contributions, as Charles reached out and said there may be one or two others that want to participate, which is great. So I'll add them in. Here's the Bandcamp page. Brief selection from something I made right on the day of the release. I think it turned out into an interesting album, so hey, go download it. Let me know what you think. Next up in the digitizing from cassettes sent to Gajube over the years, I came across Dead Goldfish Ensemble and the Eye to Eye 1989 cassette. It's always interesting to sort of dive in and see what these artists are up to. I always remembered Dead Goldfish Ensemble as a high quality. The music was consistent, serial processed kind of synth music for the most part, although this album, the fourth track, kind of veers into a slightly different direction using field recordings and a synth pad, kind of airy synthscape backdrop. The cassettes in the States came to us by way of Violet Glass Oracle. But their cassettes, the packaging was always very, it was nice. These were printed on what we call a parchment skytone cover stock in a colored ink. These were similar to the other VGO tapes releases. As I was diving into seeing what else was available online, I discovered the Dead Goldfish Ensemble, brainchild of Steve Hartwell. who has made us a website that talks all about this into greater detail, none of which I was really aware. So he talks about making this music on early sequencers and whatnot. This is a fascinating read, so check it out. He also gets into an article he wrote about the cassette scene, which is an interesting perspective. And all of the Violet Glass Oracle records are available here on this website for free. You can download them. We have all these available as a free download. And recently, as of a few years ago, Steve started releasing new Dead Goldfish Ensemble music, and he's releasing it on YouTube. Continues to do so, the most recent being so it's always awesome to find people still active and making great music. And then lastly, we have an article about using a Raspberry Pi to create a DX7 style synth out of something called Mini Dext. I have a fascination with this, and I'm just not all that mechanical, but I think I'd like to try this out. So we have Floyd Steinberg with an introduction, and then another video by Moby Pixel that goes into it further, and his creating a DX module out of a Raspberry Pi and Mini Dext. So I don't know, I'll keep you posted if I take a stab at it. So there you have it for July 1st. Subscribe and all that stuff. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. We have projects to participate in, so go take a look. And we'll touch base again possibly tomorrow. Thank you.